Town Manager Tom Lynch receives the Moakley Public Service Award, and we chat with Police Chief Paul MacDonald to see how the busy holiday weekend went. All of that on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Tuesday, May 31st, 2016. I'm Sarah Mannel. Town Manager Tom Lynch is awarded the 2016 Moakley Public Service Award. Jeff Beckwith, president of the Massachusetts Municipal Association, talked about Tom's service during the graduation ceremony for the Suffolk University Mass Municipal Association Certificate for Public Leadership and Management.
The great poet Maya Angelou once said that one isn't necessarily born with courage, but one is born with the potential for courage. And without courage, we cannot practice any other virtue with consistency. We cannot be kind, we cannot be merciful, we cannot be generous, we cannot be honest without courage. And she also observed that if you find it in your heart to care for someone else, you will have succeeded. If you can be compassionate, if you can find that in your heart, then you will have succeeded in life and in whatever you're trying to do. And certainly it is true that to be in public service today, you need courage. You need kindness, you need honesty, you need generosity, you need compassion. You need to care about the people that you serve. These are attributes. They're not something that you learn from a PowerPoint or from a lecture, from a textbook. These are elements that are within you. You can nurture them, you can help them grow, but you have to have the courage to do it. Well, we take a look at Tom Lynch's career, and we know that he has courage, that he has not only had the potential of courage, but he has the courage to live a life of public service well served. Starting out as a special education teacher, going into the legislature, where he had a distinguished career, and then being appointed by the governor to serve on the rate-setting commission. Back then, an extremely powerful and influential and vital institution that essentially controlled how health care was delivered to people and all across the state. And then he came back home and led the housing authority. The housing authority. When you think about it, every single day, what does a housing authority do? It takes people who are in very difficult circumstances, mostly, families, individuals who need help, who need assistance. In their daily lives, they need to have help with housing, something that most of us just take for granted. And Tom dedicated his career to helping those families, those individuals, having safe and affordable, secure housing so their lives could be stable and so they could thrive within this community, in this region. That's making a difference in people's lives. And then, of course, he was called to service here and became the chief executive of Barnstable. And that's something that I think on Cape, people think, oh, that's a big town. It's a big town, but we're here on the Cape. Barnstable is the fourth largest city manager form of government in Massachusetts, behind only Cambridge and Worcester and Lowell. It is a very complex and challenging community to manage and to lead. And the job that Tom has done has earned him the respect and the admiration of all of his peers throughout this state and beyond this state as well. So for helping people in their daily lives, for helping nurture and grow and support employees who he sees as colleagues, for dedicating his life from so many facets, from education to housing to management. Tom has made not only a difference, he's not only transmitted Barnstable better and more beautiful than he received it, he will continue to dedicate his life to the high ideals that have made public service his calling.
And Town Manager Tom Lynch accepted the award and offered some great advice for the graduates.
When I look at each of you, I see potential and the prospect for a bright career in public service. The reflection in the mayor of me is a celebration of a rewarding career in public service, slowly narrowing and transitioning to my next as yet unknown career. Transitioning has made me think a lot about what public service means. Each of you can do so much to help people solve complex problems. In the public sector, you have to like that type of challenge, and you really have to like working with people because you'll meet all kinds of people and personalities. But you will be servicing the larger community that I think was talked about earlier by Professor Lavin that we all live in. And hopefully you will always feel that sense of duty to serve. I have tried to make integrity, honesty, and respect for others my key values, and hope others respond in kind. That's not the way things always work out, and the behavior of others is something that may not always be reciprocal, but do not let that discourage you. And when it's time for you to exit the public sector, the satisfaction of helping others, a key motivation in working for the public sector, will be what you carry inside you, because you'll know that you've done your best to improve the quality of life for others. I agree with former Harvard President Lawrence Summers, who said, "It is the work of public employees, it is the work of those who work in the public sector, to hope, to be optimistic, and to build a better, safer, more just society."
And of course, congratulations to our town manager and to all those who graduated last week. The Memorial Day weekend is a very busy one for the Barnstable Police Department. To find out how this past weekend went, Channel 18's Sarah Colvin talked with Chief of Police Paul MacDonald.
Chief, summer beginning to get in full swing. It was very busy here on Cape Cod over the weekend. How did things fare here in the town of Barnstable?
It was a pretty busy weekend. There was a lot of people down here, a lot of motor vehicle traffic, a lot of pedestrian traffic on the main streets of all the 7 villages. Our call volume, we handled just over 700 calls for service over the weekend, which is not an extraordinary amount. Anytime, any given weekend, we could handle that number. But we did have 29 arrests. A lot of those arrests occurred late Friday and Saturday night. People leaving the bar rooms at 1 o'clock in the morning. As you know, there are a number of bars on Main Street. They all close at 1 o'clock, and sometimes when they all let out at the same time and people have been having a good time, they don't want to go home. One thing leads to another. So we did have a number of arrests for disorderly or disturbing the peace and protective custody. But during the weekend, we also made 4 arrests for OUI arrests, operating under the influence of alcohol, 4 domestic violence arrests. And of course, we did have the John Kelly Road Race that went off Sunday without a hitch. We had the Figawi Road Race boat race that left Saturday, came back on Monday. And then unfortunately, we had the cancellation of the Memorial Day Parade on Monday. That was unfortunate. We all look forward to that parade.
Absolutely. Chief, I want to talk a little bit about Main Street. Of course, as you mentioned, there's a lot of restaurants, establishments, bars on Main Street. Very popular place, especially as the weather gets warmer. So I know that in the past years, the Streets Crime Unit has been out there. I know we have extra officers. So do you have officers that are on duty, kind of preparing for the kind of emerging of all the people out of the bars at 1 o'clock in the morning?
We do. Every Friday and Saturday night, we do hold additional officers over at least till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And what they do, they are stationed and deployed, along Main Street at the busier bars, just to act as deterrents as people leaving the bars, And the problem we have, and I give a lot of credit to the bar owners, they work with us. They try to control the crowd as best they can. The problem is every single bar, they all close at 1 o'clock. Everybody comes out. They've all been drinking, and like everybody says, when the last time you seen 2 sober people fighting, So one thing leads to another. Words are exchanged, and sometimes we're forced to make arrests. We prefer not to, but if we have to make the arrest, we do.
We'll be sure to tune in to our hour-long news program, Barnstable This Morning, weekdays at 8 a.m. On tomorrow's show, we will chat with Finance Director Mark Milne. We'll also talk with Main Street Business Improvement District Executive Director Elizabeth Werfbane. Plus, we'll have all the news and information you need. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannel.